with Gosia. My name is Gosia. I'm originally from Poland. Just to let you know, I'm doing this first time live, so it's really difficult for me. I'm UMBC student. I'm majoring in Management of Aging Services, and I'm a senior this year. I do this class for Seven Oaks Senior Center, where I'm interning, and that class was planned to be in their place, but because of the situation, we will do it at my house. So first, let's start with washing our hands. I'll just walk to the side and wash my hands. Today, I will walk you through how to make chruściki, called also angel wings. It's pretty simple, very delicious dessert, and I hope it won't be too hard for you. There are many recipes. They are very similar to each other, but they differ a little bit. So this recipe I used previously, I cooked with my kids, and chruściki were delicious. So for this, for chruściki, if you want to, I will do things slowly so you can follow me and you can make your own together with me. You will need flour, softened butter, a pinch of salt, 1 whole egg, 4 egg yolks, 1 tablespoon powdered sugar, 4 tablespoons sour cream, 1 tablespoon vinegar, and vinegar is for so when you fry chruściki, they don't get burned very fast. Like in Poland, like very often we use like 96% proof spirit, but you can use vinegar. And then we need some oil to fry them. They are like fried, deep fried, so it depends how big of a skillet or pot you use. The pot should be like as big as possible, the biggest you have at home. Like I'm just using my regular frying pan, like I don't know, like 12 inch or 14 inch, and it works for me. And then we need some powdered sugar to sprinkle on top. Okay, so let me start. This recipe calls for to sift our flour into the bowl, and then we add pinch of salt and we add our softened butter. But before we do that, the second part of the recipe calls for to add eggs. I will use mixer for that. Like some of those recipes for chruściki are like the dough is pretty tough. You really can't use the mixer. You have to just knead by your hands. But I'm always looking for stuff which are easier and still good. So we have to add 1 egg to our bowl, 1 whole egg. And then for the rest, we just use egg yolks. So really like egg whites are our waste. So I'll just separate eggs from egg whites. And of course you can make stuff from egg whites. You add lots of powdered sugar and you get the meringue cookie. So we need 4 egg yolks. I'm doing lots of cooking, so I'm used to cooking part, but I'm just not used to being recorded. Let me put this on the side and let me wash my hands, and you can do that too. Okay, I'm back. And then we add to that 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. And I will sift it. I like to sift powdered sugar too because it sometimes has little harder balls in it. So, and then we turn on the mixer and we mix it until it's fluffy and thick. Beat it rather beat it. And we still need a little bit of salt, like a pinch of a salt. Let's turn that on. Before I put it on a high, my next step will be sifting 3 cups and a quarter of flour, and then adding 4 tables of softened butter, and we have to work that in the flour with our hand. So let me put that on a higher speed. So the flour is nice and has lots of air. Now we add butter to it. You can cut butter into like little pieces. Now I will just put glove on and just work with the flour and butter. Just like that. Our egg mix is getting ready, so that's good. And this looks pretty nice to me. This is all nicely mixed up. Put this on the side. I will show you my egg mixture. It's pretty nice. Now I will change the attachment to the dough attachment, and this mixer will do the job for me. I love it. It's super easy, and we add flour. I will not add the whole thing at one time. I will just keep adding it. And just keep mixing. It's getting thicker. Let me add the second part to it. When this mixes a little bit, we'll add 4 tablespoons of sour cream and vinegar. 1 tablespoon of vinegar. And we'll mix it until we have like a nice ball of dough. Let me get all the way to the bottom. Now we can add our sour cream. I already measured it. It's 4 tablespoons. And we'll use 1 tablespoon of vinegar. I will mix that. At the end, we might pull the dough out and knead it some with our hands. Mix it here, help it a little bit. So when we finish when we get our dough out, if the dough is too dry, if it's too much flour, there are different kind of flours. One is like thicker, one is thinner. Then you might add 1 more egg yolk, but I think we'll be okay here. After we'll be ready with the dough, then we'll need rolling pin to roll the dough, or I will try to use the mixer attachment, pasta attachment, which will be much easier to work with, easier and faster. Let me see what's going on in here. This looks pretty dry to me. I think I might add 1 more egg yolk. Let me give up 1 more egg. I have one recipe which calls for 12 egg yolks. So there are like different recipes. And a friend who shared that recipe with me said like there's no way you can mix that dough in a mixer. You have to just work it with your hand all the time. So let me break 1 more egg yolk. Okay. Let's see what happens now. I think I will put the dough on my table. Just get rid of things I don't need. keep it clean. Okay. I'll pull the dough on my table and I will knead it. Maybe I can knead it a little bit in the bowl. It's still kind of dry. I converted the 400 grams of flour, and it gave me like 3 1/4 cups. So that's what I add. I think I should just add a little bit less because it depends of kind of a flour. So I might end up with adding a little bit more of softened butter to it. We don't want to add any water because the recipe doesn't call for water. It's not like, this dough is not like dough for pierogi where you can add water or add flour and you can like get to that perfect perfect condition of the dough you want to have. So let me add some more butter to it because it's kind of dry. Mix that again with here, and that should help a lot. My butter is really soft, so it works very well. Okay, a little bit mixed. I'll finish with my hands. Okay, let me put this here. See, it gets together. I just have to work it. The way I used to make kruszciki, and most of people will make them, it's like you start on your table. You start on your board and you just work with your hands all the way from the beginning till the end. But that's lots of work. So we have to work it until it all sticks together. It is kind of tough. Tough and crumble. It crumbles. It gets together, but then it crumbles. We'll make it work. Let's see if it's better. That thing should happen in a mixer. That's why I used it, but obviously it's 3 1/4 cup. It's too much flour. So it would be better to weigh it. And that's what I usually do. If the recipe calls for 400 grams of flour, then I just pull my weigh and I weigh it. I think I might add 1 more egg yolk, and then I think it will be perfect. And I think I'll put it back here to mix it again in the mixer. me just bring one more egg yolk. Okay. I'm washing my hands again. Okay, let's turn that on again a little bit. If we would add the whole egg, the finished product would be like really hard. So that's why we just add egg yolks and just one egg. Some recipes just call for just egg yolks. Okay, let's take that out now. Okay, and now let's work it with our hands. Much better. Let's put everything together, all the crumbs together into one piece. I hope you can hear me well. What I should do, I should not, although the recipe calls for it, I should not add all the flours at the beginning. I should just like leave a little bit and then see how thick the dough would be. And at the end make decision to add more or not. Then the dough would be perfect. But we'll make it work. It's just kind of falling apart, it's so dry. I hope we'll be able to roll it. Okay, so let me leave this and let's take one piece. And work with that one piece and then roll it. Put that together. I just hope I'll be able to roll it because it's really, really tough. And when you make it, you can adjust that recipe. You can just make half of it, so you don't, like, it depends how many chruściki you have. I have no idea how many pieces this will make, but it won't be little. It will be a lot. So let me see if we can work with this. If not, then we'll add more sour cream. I think we have to add more. Adjust the recipe, it's too much flour. So what we will do, we already add butter, we can add more sour cream, maybe 2 more tablespoons of sour cream. We're almost there. I always like better when the dough is softer, and then I just add flour instead of trying to add other ingredients to make it softer. Let me grab sour cream. Okay, I'll add like full spoon, so it's like about 2, I would say. And let's see what happens now. Yeah, when we run into trouble, we have to find a solution, right? And I'm not afraid to adjust the ingredients. It's not a cake where it has to like raise perfectly. This thing will come out good. Oh, how did that happen? When you mix it, it should end up in like one piece of dough. Then it's perfect. You should pull that whole piece of the dough from the mixer. Okay, let's see now. Oh, now we have it soft. Oh, you see the difference? It's like much softer now. If the dough sticks to your surface, you just flour it a little bit, but don't put too much flour because then the dough will absorb your flour again. Okay, let me work it a little bit. You see, now we have like nice ball of dough. Just mix it nicely and then we'll start rolling it. Okay, let me take a piece of it. Okay, let's try roll it. Flatten a little bit with your hands. And then roll it. And fold it. And roll it again. It's nicely mixed. A few weeks ago I made them with my boys, so I didn't have to do any kneading and any rolling. They were doing that. I was just frying them. It was easy and simple. And they were done so fast. I want to try if we can roll it in the pasta attachment, through the pasta attachment. If you make a lot of them, then pasta attachment is really helpful, and all of your ruszciki angel wings will be like perfectly same thickness. What can be achieved when you roll it with the rolling pin. Let's see if that is probably too dry for the pasta attachment. Yeah, it's kind of too dry. It will fall apart. So we'll have to roll it with our hands. Yeah. It happens sometimes, not everything. Like people who make pierogi, they always make them by hand, but now, these days, many people use the pasta roller to roll their dough. Okay, so let's roll a little piece. I really don't know what happened to that dough, but it's not perfect today. But I'll just show you basics, how to get from the beginning to the end. I hope I'll be able to lift it, yeah, I will. That's good. And now when you have a rolled dough, you take a knife or you can use a cutting thing like that roller, and you just cut like about inch thick pieces of dough through the whole thing, and you make them about, I would say, like 5-6 inches long. It's up to you how long they will be. So you cut your dough into like pieces like that. It can be thicker, thinner, longer, and then you cut through the middle of it. You cut through the middle of it, and then you twist one end through the hole, and that's what we come up with. So let me make a few more here. So when they lay on my board, I just make cuts through them, and then I just twist them. The thinner the dough, the better. So like I'll show you from close up. Like when I will show you one more how I twist them. I'll take one piece, maybe thinner and longer. So you have a hole in the middle. You take one end from the top and you just go through that hole. You cut and you make them nice and like that. The next step will be frying them, but we'll make some of them and then we'll fry them. I wonder how many of you is doing this with me and how your dough came out. Today I'm like on a little bit thicker side. I would like, I don't know how much you can see, but that's like kind of too thick. With the next batch, I would just go thinner. Okay, let me put these together again. And let's make another one. You can cut them with like shaped end, and they will have like nice ruffles around them. But it really doesn't matter. You can just use regular knife. Okay. So I will do this part. Before I roll this whole thing, let me just put some oil into my frying pan, so the oil will heat up, because when I finish this, we'll start frying these so you can see the end product. my oil is heating up. Let me work on that. Before you drop them in the oil, you have to test if the oil is hot enough. And also it cannot be too hot because they will burn like in no time. You just drop them in and they'll be burned in 15 seconds. Before they are done, they'll be burned. I might use a little bit of flour. This is on my way. Also, if you put too much flour, like on top or on the other side, then when you fry them, it will burn in your frying pan. So just sprinkle a little bit so it doesn't stick to your pan. Try to make them very thin this time. So first I usually cut like straight edge, and then I go like 1 inch thin long strips through the whole dough. You have to make sure that you can lift the dough off your board or your table or your work surface. Okay, so now I'm cutting off the edges so they look nice. Okay. So again, I have a long strip like that, I'll divide it into two. And then in the middle, cut in the middle, and twist it. Some people call them twist ties or bow ties because they look like little bows. You can put them here. Okay, so I'm ready to twist the rest of them. Very often when the dough is tough and you roll it, when you stop it, it just goes back a little bit, so you have to roll it again. It's better to roll it thinner, like you see, like they became like thicker. When I cut them, they just shrink. Let me see how the oil is doing. It's getting warm. Oh, this one is a pretty big one. Okay, I wonder how your twisting going on, how your chruściki are coming up. I hope some of you follows me and make that with me. Okay, so I'm almost done here. Okay, but we can fix it. Okay, let me take a piece of a dough and check the oil. Oh, it it's getting there, but still not too hot. So when you fry them, let me wash my hands because they are a little bit dirty from the dough. It's sizzling, but not enough yet. Put a plate and some paper towels. Because when you take them out of the grease, you want to leave some grease on the paper towel, and then you will transfer them onto like serving tray and sprinkle them with powdered sugar on top. I'll put one more towel. Let me take this piece out. Oh, that's too big for that piece. Let me get ready with the dish. I think we can start. I always take like some in my hand. They won't stick together. You don't have to worry about that. And we just lay them in the grease. And they will float. Put some more. The oil is hot, so be careful. I have too much butter in that recipe. And we flip them. Some of them don't want to flip easy. With this, and we fry them until they like golden brown, like lightly brown, but golden. Like this would be perfect. I'll show you. Oh, I'll take them out. They are done. See how nicely golden they are. I made them a little bit too short, like they're too small. But like perfect snacking size. Okay. Let me put more in. Let's try it the second time, second round around. See, like I have them in my hand, they don't get stuck together. And just slowly put them down, don't get burned. I think we can fit all of them. Perfect dish would be like maybe about this height, like 3-4 inches, and just straight like low pot to fry them. But I'm just using this and I'm perfectly fine with it. It works. So now I can transfer these here. these are ready to be turned, flipped. Frying them, it's take really really quick. When my boys were cutting them and twisting them for me, I was just frying them. They had so many made. I was like behind them. And I think they are done. Remove that plate here. They are extremely hot, so you have to be really, really careful. Okay, so that's how much I rolled. Let me turn this off. And now we can transfer them here. I will just use my hand because it's easier and faster. So we have like one row here. Let's put some powdered sugar on top of them. You want to have enough powdered sugar so they taste good, so they are sweet. And that is what we came up with. I hope you all like it, and I don't want to drop them on the floor, this slide. It's so much fun to experiment with different recipes. My mom is actually watching me doing it, and she said that she cannot understand anything, but she can follow the directions. She's the person who taught me to do that, and I have different recipes. I will share them with you. You can try, you can just make like quarter of the batch and then see which recipe you like the most. So these are chruściki, as we would say in Polish, smacznego. I wish I could share them with all of you. Thank you for participating in the class. I hope few of you tried to make them along with me. And on Wednesday, I will be making gołąbki, stuffed cabbage rolls. I think it's at 12:30. And then again on Friday, I will show you how to make a very Polish style salad from made out of cooked vegetables. But one odd thing, which like it's really like European people know about it, is cucumber in brine. So if you can get cucumber in brine, or just like the ones which are just started, they sell them at Aldi. I get my jar from Polish stores, so they are like really nicely brined. Thank you very much, and see you on Wednesday at 12:30. And I will post the ingredients for stuffed cabbage rolls so you can get ready. Thank you.